Hello, my name is Adela Sahabatini. I'm from the Online University, majoring in study information. My Venetian ID is 2602
Hello, my name is Anindya Salsabila Putri. I'm from Venus University Online Learning with Information Systems majoring, and my number ID is 2602-180-595.
Hello, my name is Dinda Ragil Pramudawardhani and my Venusian ID is 26021755576.
Let's begin by understanding what we will learn in this lesson. In this video, we will learn what demand forecasting is, why it is important, how it is calculated, and how organization use to support inventory decision. Let's begin by understanding what we will learn in this lesson. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to define demand forecasting, explain its importance in inventory management, describe common forecasting methods, calculate a simple forecast, and understand how forecasts are used in inventory planning. These concepts are widely used across industries, from retail and manufacturing to healthcare and logistics. First, let's understand what demand forecasting actually means. What is demand forecasting? Demand forecasting is the process of estimating future customer demand using historical data, domain knowledge, and analytic methods. Think of it as turning past information into future insight. For example, if a hospital has recorded daily platelet usage for several years, it can use those records to estimate how many platelet units may be needed tomorrow. Forecasting does not predict the future perfectly. Instead, it provides the best estimate available based on existing information. To produce a forecast, organizations commonly analyze historical sales to usage data, identify trends and seasonal patterns, and consider external factors such as promotion, weather condition, public holidays, or policy change. The more relevant and accurate the data, the more reliable the forecast becomes.
Demand forecasting directly influences inventory performance. Without forecasting, organizations often operate reactively. They may experience frequent stockouts, causing lost sales, delayed service, and customer dissatisfaction. To compensate for uncertainty, some organizations keep excessive inventory. While this reduces shortage, it increases shortage costs and often leads to waste. Forecasting helps organizations find a balance. By estimating future demand, companies can prepare inventory more accurately, reduce emergency purchases, lower holding costs, and improve service levels. In short, forecasting helps organizations make proactive decisions instead of reactive ones. Okay? To see why forecasting is so important, let's look at a real-world example at the next slide. One of the most challenging forecasting environments exists in healthcare. A study by Motamedi and colleagues examined platelet demand forecasting within Canadian blood service. Unlike many products, platelets have a very short shelf life. They expire quickly and cannot be stored for long periods. At the same time, demand can fluctuate significantly from day to day because hospitals cannot always predict how many patients will require treatment. So, if demand is underestimated, hospitals may experience shortage that directly affects patient care. So, if demand is overestimate valuable platelet, products may expire and be discarded. This makes demand forecasting not only an operational issue but also a critical healthcare challenge. Okay, so how can organization forecast future demand? We can see at the next slide. We can see there are many forecasting methods available, ranging from simple statistical techniques to advanced artificial intelligence model. Okay, we can see traditional methods include moving average, weighted moving average, exponential smoothing, and ARIMA. These methods are often easier implement and work well when demand patterns are relatively stable. Okay, as data availability increases, organizations may adopt more advanced methods such as random forests, neural networks, and long short-term memory, or we can call LSTM models. These techniques can detect complex and nonlinear relationships within a large dataset. However, more advanced models also require greater amounts of data, computational research, and validation. For many organizations, the best approach is to start with simple methods and adopt more advanced models only when necessary. Okay, only when necessary. Let's look at how a simple forecast can be calculated at the next slides.
How is a simple forecasting calculated? One of the most simple forecasting methods is the moving average. So we're going to use that in this case. First, if we were looking at the moving average formula here, it's basically an average of the summarized historical data divided by the number of the observations. Suppose this hospital records of platelet demand over 4 consecutive days. On Monday, the demand was 90 units. On Tuesday, the demand increased to 100 units. On Wednesday, the demand reached 110 units, and on Thursday, the demand was 120 units. To forecast demand for Friday, we calculate the average of these 4 observations. First, we add all the demand values together. So 90 plus 100 plus 110 plus 120 equals 420. Next, we divide by the number of observations, which is 4, right? From Monday to Thursday. And the result is 105 units. This means the forecasted platelet demand for Friday is 105 units. The moving average method helps smooth short-term fluctuations and provides a simple estimate that is easy to understand and communicate. I mean, basically, you can understand that, right? But forecasting demand is only the first step. Previously, I said that forecasting demand is only the first step, right? Because forecasts become valuable when they support inventory decisions. Okay, suppose the forecast predicts a demand of 105 platelet units. Managers know that forecasts are never perfect, so they often add a safety stock to protect against unexpected demand increases. If the safety stock is 15 units, the recommended inventory level becomes 120 units. This inventory target helps managers determine how much inventory should be available before the next replenishment cycle. In practice, organizations also consider supplier lead times, reorder points, and service level targets when making replenishment decisions. In modern organizations, these calculations are often performed automatically. Conclusion: forecasting in modern inventory systems and key takeaways. Today, forecasting is frequently integrated into inventory management systems. Managers can view current inventory levels, demand forecasts, reorder recommendations, and replenishment alerts through a centralized dashboard. These systems support proactive decision making by providing timely information before shortages or overstock situations occur. So let's summarize the key ideas from this lesson. Demand forecasting is the process of estimating future demand using historical data and analytical techniques. It helps organizations reduce stockouts, minimize overstock, improve service levels, and make better inventory decisions. Forecasting methods range from simple moving averages to advanced artificial intelligence models. And most importantly, forecasts become valuable when they are translated into inventory planning and replenishment actions. As supply chains become more complex and data-driven, demand forecasting continues to play a critical role in helping organizations make smarter operational decisions. So, just a question for a reflection. How could forecasting accuracy be improved in your context? Considering your data quality, external signals, and your method selection, of course. So next steps are you can practice calculating simple forecasts, compare methods on historical data, and simulate inventory outcomes. The content presented in this video is based on research from Motamedi et al., published in 2024, Gallup et al. 2025, and Samuels et al. 2025. Hope you enjoy, and thank you for watching.